Bad body image and feeling insecure about our appearance are becoming more and more commonplace in our society. We're constantly being bombarded by who or what we should look like by social media, the fashion and beauty industry, or even our friends and family. So it's no wonder that a lot of us may suffer with bad body image or feelings of inadequacy. But I mean, for how common it is to struggle with bad body image, it's still kind of hard to come out and talk about it. Body image in general still seems like a somewhat taboo issue to discuss, especially in our everyday circles. It's not really something that you can just talk to people on the street about, and even among friends and family, it can be hard to open up about something that we tie so heavily to our self-worth. So if you're going through a similar issue, I hope that this video can be the support that you may have been looking for. Hi guys, I'm Juliana. I normally create content on how to use your personal style to become the most empowered version of yourself, but ultimately I know that you can't enjoy the full benefits of dressing well if you don't accept yourself at a more foundational level. Because of this, I think it's super important to address things like self-esteem and inner confidence if we want to level up in our life and feel empowered. Now, I'm sure you've gathered this from the title, but I just want to add this disclaimer. This video will be discussing body image and bodies in general, so if that's not helpful for your personal journey, please click off and consider checking out my other videos instead. Also, I'm definitely not a certified nutritionist or doctor, so please don't use my advice as a substitute for seeking professional help. Personally, growing up, I've always wanted to be thin to kind of fit certain beauty standards, even if I didn't realize it at the time. So I always based my self-worth on being at a perfect weight, or what society and I deemed to be my body's perfect weight. As my weight would fluctuate as bodies naturally do, I would fall into this pit of self-pity and self-loathing, which looking back now was such a waste of my energy and my time. If we have low self-esteem, it really affects all aspects of our life. We're less likely to take action towards our goals or seize opportunities as they come because we simply don't believe we're worthy of them. I'm definitely not perfect now and do have my moments where I'm tempted to fall back into my old beliefs, but overall I'm happy to say that I'm at a much better place with my body image and want to share some things that have helped me arrive at this mental space. One of the first steps that I took is to recognize that there's always going to be someone who's more physically attractive or proportionate than us. They may be taller, shorter, thinner, curvier, younger, etc. Personally, I'm someone who's always had broad shoulders and narrow hips, so during periods where I would gain weight, I wouldn't feel sexier or more feminine. If anything, I would just feel manlier and more bulky because my body tends to distribute my weight on my upper body. Until I changed my mindset, I would always envy girls that had wider hips or a different bone structure than I did, which if you think about it is kind of crazy because we really can't change our skeletal structure. So yeah, if you keep this comparison mindset, someone's always going to have something that you don't and that you want. In other words, if we engage in this fight of comparison, we're always going to end up miserable. So how can we win over this constant mental battle? The most simple, albeit not necessarily the easiest way, is to just disengage from your entire mental dialogue and take the focus off of your body. In doing so, you cease fighting with the gremlin in your head, so to speak. So rather than hating or pretending to superficially love your body, you just accept your body as it is. And notice how I'm saying that you shouldn't really try to actively love your body, at least in the first stages, because that still ties a lot of emotion to how we currently look, of which will always be changing and evolving. And by the way, this isn't to say that you should give up on your fitness goals if you're trying to improve your health. I think everyone deserves to strive for their best mental and physical well-being. But I mean, sometimes our insecurities don't always stem from our body fat percentage. For some of us, our main insecurities stem from things that maybe we were born with and can't really change without invasive procedures. It can include things like our height, our nose shape, or our freckles. That is why it is equally important during this process to identify what is causing your bad body image. If we don't address exactly who or what has caused us to feel the way that we do, we're more likely to fall back into the same negative thinking patterns later down the road. Now, the point here is not to point blame onto others or our past circumstances. What we really want to do is just bring them to the forefront and acknowledge their impact. Only from there will we be able to release them and begin to create new beliefs about ourselves. And sometimes these reasons can be difficult to identify and be the result of past trauma. And for this, a great way to uncover these beliefs is to talk to a professional. And that's why I'm so excited that BetterHelp is sponsoring this video. In the past, I've used therapy to organize my thoughts and really dispel past beliefs that I didn't even realize I was holding on to. I've tried both in-person and online therapy, and let me tell you, the latter is so much more convenient. With BetterHelp, you have the option to kind of shop around for a therapist you mesh well with. BetterHelp is amazing because they help to connect you with a licensed therapist that will listen and offer you helpful and unbiased advice. All you have to do is answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you with a professional, usually within 48 hours. And you're able to do all of this from your phone or computer via things like phone call, video chat, or text messaging. It's all based on what works with your lifestyle and your personal preferences. So definitely check out the link that I put in my description that will give you a discount off of your first month. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of the video, and thank you to all you guys who make all my sponsorships possible by supporting my channel. Alright, so now that we've identified and released our past beliefs, we are ready now to build our new persona and level up. If you found that a lot of your insecurities stem from comparing yourself to those on social media, it may help at the start to unfollow certain accounts that make you feel badly about your body. I recognize that we can't all just shut our eyes to the world, but until you can foster a more secure sense of self, this may be a helpful first step. Along with comparing ourselves to others, we also need to stop comparing ourselves to our past or ideal self. And what will be a simple way for a lot of us to do this is to stop obsessively measuring. I know not everyone will do this, but I think a lot of us do it more than we realize. And when I say measuring, I'm talking about things like body checking, constantly weighing yourself, taking hundreds of progress pictures, or even obsessing over your step count. And I realize that this can be kind of tricky if you have certain fitness goals, but if you don't fix this core relationship with your self-worth, from personal experience, I found that even if you do achieve your dream physique, your confidence will only last as long as you keep that physique. Also, without a more grounded sense of self-worth, exercise and dieting can quickly become an obsession where you feel like you have to chase or maintain a potentially unhealthy weight. So because of this, it may actually be more productive in the long run to take a break and repair your relationship with your body first. By no longer measuring and weighing ourselves, we can really start to take the attention off of our body and loosen our grip. As we begin to shift this focus away from our body image, you might start to feel a little antsy because up until this point, you've spent so much of your mental energy in this area. If you're like me and you still want to keep forms of exercise in your life for your health, I would recommend pursuing forms of exercise that have a social and/or strength component, especially things like workout classes because they can be a really amazing way to meet new people and foster new social connections. I personally have fallen in love with dance and have found most of my friends through our shared passion for this art form. I would also recommend finding a hobby that you're passionate about. This may seem strange and not really related to body image, but it goes along with this notion that we want to build a sense of self that's not based solely on how we look. And I found that a great way to redirect this newly freed energy is funneling them into our interests and finding how we can be of service to others. If you don't feel like you know what you like to do, just kind of think about what you like to do maybe as a kid. Did you used to read, play basketball, maybe crochet, or volunteer? There's really endless options when it comes to hobbies. This is also a great time to start that side hustle or passion project that you've been meaning to start for the longest time. But yeah, once you no longer tie your self-worth and all of your energy as much into your body, it's crazy how much time and mental space opens up for us to really pursue more meaningful things. Now, since on my channel I do create a lot of fashion and beauty content, I did want to note a couple things regarding personal style. We all know that fashion and beauty are pretty appearance-heavy industries, so in making this video, I did kind of have to pause and wonder if my content was perpetuating a very body-focused approach. But I don't think that wanting to dress well has to really depend on things like our weight or our skin tone. My philosophy is that you should embrace the body and bone structure that you were born with, and then find clothes that flatter you. Style tools such as knowing your body type or face shape, they don't really shed judgment on what's a good or bad body type. They're just useful guidelines to put into words how your body structure is set up. Ultimately, your wardrobe should be a tool for empowerment and creative expression rather than a source of insecurity. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Please share your story in the comments if you struggle with bad body image and what you've been able to do to improve your mindset and what has helped you. Alright guys, that's all I have for you for this video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you are into elevated styles and dressing for the life that you want. Again, thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. And if you like this video, definitely subscribe. I'd love to have you here. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!